Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with American Crime. This is season 2, episode 5. 6 and 7 will follow behind this. I promised I was gonna do it. It's 2:35 my time, AM. But fuck that, we is rolling, honey. We is gonna do this. I promised it, so I'm gonna give it like I supposed to. Sorry about the shit ass light. Now I explain it to you, but just deal with it, baby. Just deal with it. Just keep rolling with your girl. I'm gonna bless you in a minute, okay? Okay, on this episode, we see Taylor being talked to by the police detectives, and they're going through, the situation with his text messages and where he talked about being QTC, which is cute, quick to come. And they basically saying Taylor wanted rough sex, but he said he talked about it, but Eric never gave him the chance to say yes. He said he was he was given a drink, he felt sick, and then it was like he had no control over himself, like he was watching himself, but he couldn't speak, okay? He said it happened so fast and that Eric left him in there. He admits that he met up with Eric afterwards and he wanted to he wanted him to admit it to him. And his mom is asking, will there be arrest? And they basically saying that at this time they don't know because he made the arrangements to meet up with this guy for sex. Detective asked if why he didn't call the police. And Taylor basically saying that he didn't want what's going on right now to happen if he had reported it earlier. He more concerned from what I got about his mama. We find out more information about his mama as this episode goes on, and we'll talk about it. Now, back down at the hospital, Eric is talking to them same damn police detectives, okay? And he had like he almost angry, child. He said that Taylor wanted it, and Kevin invited him to the party so he could get it. He claims it was consensual. He admits that Taylor was drinking, but he didn't provide the drink for him. And then after the sex, he was talking like he had regressed it, according to what Eric said. He said he didn't want to hear the boy talking about the regret, so he left the room. And when he returned, Taylor was on the floor puking and folks were Snapchatting it, so he took him home along with Evie. And he said he's sorry he ever went anywhere near him. And the detective asked him, are you sure about that? Now back at home, Taylor and his mom talking, and she basically asking him how long has he been feeling like he like boys. And he said it goes all the way back to 8th grade, and he brings her to a friend that used to actually sleep over, but he said he never had sex in the house. She don't understand because she don't have no problem with it. She just wanted him to tell her and be honest about it. She asked him, did Evie know? And he say no. She asked him, well, why didn't he does he really like rough sex? What is it about him that makes him like that? And he said he was just interested in it, not necessarily having it. And she asked Eric, did he, how you feel about it now? And he didn't answer. He just got up and walked off on her, okay? Next, we gonna see Miss Leslie down at the school, and Dan, old lady, Miss Steph, she talking to her, and she's saying basically she wants Steph to talk Dan into talking to his boys, and basically telling them not to talk to the police. Steph picked up on that. She don't really like that. She realized what that woman was saying, and she told her, okay, she'll have a conversation with, but you could tell she wasn't feeling that shit because it sounded like she asking him to cover stuff up. Next, we see Kevin talking to the team. He's stressed out, but they saying don't stress out because they not going to talk to the police no way. And they not going to give up no information. So then we go over to Taylor, who's now at the therapist's office, and he's saying that the assaults weren't, that he was reading up that assaults aren't usually prosecuted, and he more worried about his mom. He don't want her to have a relapse. He upset about how Leland treated, the people at Leland treated his mom. He say that she reached out to the school for help, and now they treating her like a dog. Okay. Next, we see even Taylor outside of his apartment, and she upset out there. She's saying that he didn't tell her, plus he texted all that stuff to that boy. She asked him if he gay, and he's still saying no. Okay, maybe he bisexual, like Miss Jocelyn. I don't know. But she said He said that he confused about how he feel about her, and she is in her fucking feelings, child. She said obviously he ain't feel nothing for her. She remembers how he used to want her to hard grind on him, and she asked if he was using her as if she was a boy. She got upset and she started hitting him, and then she asked him, what if I go and tell them that you ain't nothing but a lie? First she asked, was he tested? Did he give her anything? And because obviously they've been sexually active. He said, no, I ain't give you nothing because I done been tested. No, I did not give you anything, girl. Well, she then asked him, well, what if I go to the police and tell them that you're a liar? Because she asking him, what should she tell the police? He said, tell them the truth. Tell them what you saw that night. She basically upset because this her boyfriend, and she found out her boyfriend like boys, and she feeling some kind of way about it, child. He told her, tell him the truth if that's what you want to do, and he walked on back in the house. Now Evie, along with her dad, now goes down to talk to the police, and she recalls how the people at the party were not friendly, and they asked her if she felt like someone gave Taylor something in his drink, and she said yes. She said that she thought she was getting him away from that by getting him into the car and getting him home, but she was actually putting him in the car with his alleged rapist. Well, she said his rapist. They said alleged, okay? Child, this mess is really turning out. Well, Eric and his dad are at the dad place now. He done left the hospital, right? And Eric is offering to talk to his dad about his sexuality. His dad don't want to talk about it, but he's saying that when you ready, we can have this conversation. And I'm like, but Dad, he obviously ready. He trying to have a conversation. It's his daddy not ready, right? So let's now go down to the Marshall School, and the Latino kids is upset that Mateo was suspended. And the principal telling them straight up that all he saw when he broke that fight up was a black kid being attacked by Mateo and his boys. What happened prior to it, because they trying to tell him that ain't what all happened. He's told them what happened prior, he don't know and it don't matter. They get upset and they leave, child, okay? Now, it takes us to a scene next where Taylor's in his bathroom, and this guy coming there, child, they practically face to face. Like they about to kiss each other. You could tell the boy attracted to Taylor. But they don't do nothing. Taylor walk off, okay? Now let's go down to the detective, because he calls Mrs. Blaine, who is that's Taylor's mama, and tells her that the county prosecutor has decided that not to do any arrest at this time based on the information, but if more information comes up, they can reopen the investigation. And she goes home and tells Taylor there will be no arrest made. And he asks her, is it over now? Are you done? You know, are you through with this now? Because he acting like he ain't want no parts of this in the beginning. And she just walked out. Well, the detective goes over to the LaCroix house and tells them that the county prosecutor has decided that they're not going to close the case, but right now there will be no arrest. That upsets Terry because she wants to know why they won't just go and officially close the case, because as long as this case remains opened, then that's something that will hang over Kevin's head. And she said her son don't deserve that, and she walked off. Well, the detective was trying to talk to Michael, the husband, about going to talk to her and explaining to her that they trying to do as thorough job as possible. And he tells her that it's a lot, but he's not reasonable either. You know, Terry ain't the only one that's unreasonable. I'm unreasonable too when it comes to the son. And we see Terry next holding Kevin as they both crying, and Kevin is upset because his name will remain attached to this rape case whether they're prosecuting it or not, and this could mess up his opportunities as far as his college opportunities, okay? Now let's go over to the Marshall School, and child, the Latino students are protesting. Child, they is out there picketing. Do you hear me? They're doing it because of the suspension of Mateo and the other Latinos. The principal says that he's going to allow it for today, but if they continue to do it, tomorrow he's going to start passing out disciplinary notices and stuff. Okay? Now we go back to the LaCroix home, and Michael is trying to convince Terry to go on and let's go to this gala. He said that's how they would redeem their son's name back, is to remain active in the community. And he decides to go as well as Dan. But let me back up because I forgot to tell y'all about one thing. I forgot to tell y'all. Over at the Leland school, Leslie saying that they will continue to support their two kids, one a minority and the other black. And if people try to be biased on them based on their own homophobic feelings, then it will make them appear homophobic. And they're going to just work on dealing with the fact that their boys told the truth. That's basically what she want to make it look like. She said she only got 3 black families paying full tuition. The other boy lied, and their 2 boys didn't. And that's the message they want to put out regardless. Now, over the Taylor house, we see him receiving a friend request from that guy that was in the bathroom. His name was Luke, okay? That's the guy from the bathroom. Now, over at Eric's house, his brother is asking if he gay. He done came in the room asking if he gay. He said their mom can't deal with that. And he calls the boy ass and walks off. So, obviously, he too has an issue with Eric being gay now. Now, let's go over to Dan house before we wind up going to the event, okay? We're going to go over to Dan house, and they having a birthday celebration for Steph. And later, she asked him how would he feel about switching over, going to another school from Leland. She says it's a mess at how the school handled everything, and he doesn't want to leave the school. He said it'll all blow over soon. She trying to convince him in that moment to go ahead on and go somewhere else, but he refuses. Then she tells him their daughter doesn't even know love and commitment, or how, what those are the feelings that make you feel a certain amount of guilt having a conscience, because she had walked in earlier on her mom talking with someone, and the woman was upset because she had allowed herself to take a number from another guy, but it come to find out she really didn't want that. She was in a relationship with someone already, but she felt bad that she had done that. So when her mom sat down with Becca to try to explain what was going on, Becca had no sense of why a person would feel guilty, loving a person, or being committed, and that is a concern that she has, and she's addressing that. He asked her if she was on her candy, and she told him no, because she's speaking the truth. Oh, so when I speak up, I gotta be high. Well, she tells him them boys had a chance to tell him the truth and they didn't. He feeling guilty that Eric tried to kill himself because he listened to Leslie, and that's what she tells him, how Leslie wants him now to go back and have them boys agree to not talk to the police or to lie to the police. Child, she wants him to give them a little speech about integrity, unity, and fidelity. In other words, boost these boys up to lie to the police yet again, okay? She says that since he refusing to leave the school, they might as well go to the gala event for the school because Leslie really wants him there. And it's clear she's not here for the lies and the cover-up, but of course she's going to go on and do what her husband wants to do. Which takes us over to the LaCroix home, and that's when Michael was trying to convince her to go to the gala, and she does, as well as Dan and his wife. And Leslie takes the mic, and of course she's talking about the future of Leland is even brighter, despite what they've been through. She gave a speech about real men stand up and they tell the truth, and that's what their boys did. And child, we see this performance. It goes off all right. I don't even want to get into that performance because I got about 5 different interpretations of that. I'll let y'all judge, or you can tell me down in the comment what you got from that performance. But I got about 5 different things. Now let's go over to Miss Blaine's job. And this guy named James comes to see her as they're closing, and he has to speak to her. He explains that his daughter was once a student over there at Leland about 6 years ago, and that a teacher was being verbally abusive to his daughter. He said that it got so bad that he actually had her record the convo, but the school said she had no right to record that. They suspended her, and upon her return to the school, they had scandalized their child's name so bad it was unbearable. So they decided they were going to sue, okay? But his wife couldn't stand the stress of it. So he took a settlement, and he encouraging her to not be that fool. Don't do that, honey. Don't do that. Go head on and just stay strong and, find out. Somebody got to do something about this school. He said he can't do nothing because he signed the gag order saying that he would never talk against the school. he want her to be strong though and not do that, and that's pretty much where episode 5 ended off at. I'm gonna roll right back into I don't want this to be too long on y'all, so I'm gonna do them one by one, child. In the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys back down here for episode 6 coming up next. Peace.